evening and welcome to Across the Pitch. We're the soccer show for people who think that Fulham is the name of a prison that Johnny Cash sang about.
I knew you were going there with that one. Oh, it's wonderful. I tell you what, Phil, musical themed is what we're all about tonight. On tonight's show, we introduce you to a brand new quiz show that's taking the world by storm. We talk about an elephant up a tree, and it's raining goals. Hallelujah!
Yes, indeed. My name is Phil Kennedy, and I'm here with my co-host,
Aaron Ayres.
And we do have a very special episode for you tonight, as we have a musical guest with us joining us shortly. As you know, we've mentioned before on the show that our intro and outro music is provided by a local Phoenix band called The Glides.
Fabulous band, they are.
And tonight we actually have the lead singer for The Glides, Travis Kenny, joining us. He's going to talk a little bit about what's coming up new with the band, a solo project that he's got coming out. He's also going to tell us some stories about soccer, including
some guy we know nothing about.
And an encounter that he had with, of all people, the legendary Pele back in the 1970s, and the aforementioned new world-famous quiz game show that Aaron mentioned a minute ago.
What did we end up calling that one, Phil?
Band or soccer team?
Oh, so we didn't go with shits or kicks.
Well, we could go with that.
Never mind. No, that's okay. Just needed to get in a little cuss here and there because, you know, we're not exactly PG makers.
We want to get that parental advisory sticker on the show.
I mean, if we're talking about Wankers, which is a football club, I'll have you know, not the act or the person, it's a football club, then you need to know what we're on about here.
And with that, let's make a quick phone call and bring in our guest, Travis Kenny. Give a warm across the pitch welcome to Travis.
All right, Travis, welcome aboard.
Hey, everybody. Thank you guys for having me on the show, by the way. It's a real honor.
Welcome to have you aboard, Travis. It's great to talk to you. I have to confess something before we get into it. I think it was about the third, maybe fourth episode in before Phil actually enlightened me that it was the Glides that made our intro music and outro music for that matter. So apologies about that.
Sounds like at least you're getting to know the catalog along the way. So it's
I absolutely am. I've heard a lot about you guys and seen your most recent video clip as well, which I believe Phil makes a guest appearance in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No,
that's right. I do make a guest appearance, and you've heard them on KWSS also, right, Aaron?
That's right. Our fabulous alternative community radio station here in Phoenix.
Besides the Glides, you've been working on some solo projects recently, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. I've been, I think actually all of us are, you know, Paulie, the bass player, he's got his thing called St. Pop of Phoenix. And boy, oh boy, is that going to be a tough one. The Glides are going to have to go back to the studio to outdo that. That guy, he is an animal for a good songwriter. He's really just such a talented individual, and his new record is going to be amazing. And it's got 2 or 3 inches of frosting on top of it with horn sections, and boy, oh boy, is it good stuff. And I went the other direction. I went with going stripped. I love to just play with the acoustic guitar and perform. It's just so much. It's so freeing. Of course, the band experience is, you know, like no other, and the Glides are busy. We have a single coming out in the spring, and yeah, we've got a lot of work ahead of us, but we're all working, that's for sure.
You have a 9-song album that you're coming out with yourself. That's correct, right?
Yeah. You know, the new music business. I know you, Phil, and I. We've talked about this so many times and about so many different things, and obviously your podcast is amazing. By the way, when I was first asked, I was like, I don't know enough about soccer. I mean, especially like that last one from the first one to 7, the growth of this podcast has been amazing. And I really love the idea when my wife asked me about what you were up to, Phil, or the both of you, I just was really like, they are really bringing soccer to Americans, and Americans are dopes about soccer. I mean, your average American, well, I mean, there's all these leagues that, of course, involve different countries. So immediately I got my red hat on, making America great again. So how could I possibly know anything about German soccer, right? Because that would be too much to figure out where Spain is on the map, right? Like, how could I know any of this, right? It's not allowed. But yeah, no, it's just amazing. I grew up watching and playing and being involved in soccer and actually love soccer. But I just was realizing how much I don't know, and now I realize how much no one else knows. I'm almost a genius in soccer in America, like
it's one of those games. It's definitely more chess than checkers, where there's just so much to it. But you attended some pretty famous games in the 70s when the Seattle Sounders played the New York Cosmos, right?
Oh, yeah. And in the 70s is really when the first push for soccer was made. And soccer went out and really tried hard to market the game. As far as those New York games go, it was obviously there's professional soccer and then there's what we're doing in America. Most of the professionals or the European professionals were in the New York team. And it really was like the Harlem Globetrotters playing the Washington Generals. And the Washington Generals is the dupe team that always plays the Harlem Globetrotters. And I mean, when Pele was playing, I almost expected him to pull out the bucket of confetti. I mean, it was that much difference. It was like, wow, these guys, there's night and day what they're doing. And yeah, it was great.
Let me just go back there. You saw the great legendary Pele play live.
Shook his hand and met him. And so our soccer club, we all showed up with our little uniforms and our cleats, and we watched this game, and it was amazing, and it was cold and wet, and it was in Seattle, and he even did the bicycle kick, score. And like I said, it was looking very much like they were just toying with these guys. And they were all trying hard, and I saw them week to week, kick ass. But basically, Pele and the guys came in and just totally tore it down. And so because we were one of the soccer clubs, and like I said, they were marketing soccer so hard that we all got to go down and meet Pele. And Pele pulled out the grapefruit and began to do all those amazing Pele things he could do, but with a grapefruit, just heading and then on the knee and then back and forth to the foot, and like basically an early version of hacky sack, maybe, juggling the ball and whatnot, all with a grapefruit. And of course, he explained where he was from, he was so poor that this is what they could do. And they passed us all a grapefruit, and it just got kicked once and fell on the ground.
Right, yeah.
It's so impressive to imagine that with something like a grapefruit. You mentioned the hacky sack. I remember my uncle gave me one of those when I was probably 7 or 8. I could maybe get it 2 or 3 times, and it'd be on the ground with a grapefruit. I'd be spraying the juice in my eyes. And
oh man! I tell you what, knowing my soccer pedigree as fullback and booting the ball as far as I could, I would have tried to launch that. It would have splattered.
Yeah. So who did you guys have on last week? I'm sorry, I don't remember his name.
We had on Matt Robarts. He's our new tactical expert. He's a local guy, but he played locally at Arizona Christian University, and he's going to be making about a once-a-month appearance on the show. He's a real knowledgeable guy, but I think that we probably reached the time where we've talked about it enough that people are probably wanting to hear some music. We've played about the first 15 seconds of the song for our intro and the last 10 seconds for our outro. The one thing that folks haven't actually heard is you before, because we're only playing the instrumental part. So we're going to take a quick break here, and we are going to play the full version of One Time by the Glides and give you all a chance to hear what Travis sounds like.
Hit it, Phil.
She says hi. When she passes by, I'm left to say, Lord, oh my, my. She gets up on the dance floor, she starts moving. Shimmy, shimmy, shake, her hips are grooving. When she bends
That was the Glides and
That's
One
amazing.
Time. And we have Travis Kenny with us, who you just heard on that track. Now, Travis, tell us a little bit about the making of that song. I know that was one of the first songs that the band ever made, right?
It's the first single we ever put out. Sure enough, I realized you just played the version with the horns, which was the single that we put out to promote the song that you're in that video in. So it's awesome. That was great.
That song's the Ballad of Big Scotty, and I guess that I should mention that with the Glides you can actually find the official music video for One Time and also the official music video for the Ballad of Big Scotty. That's the one that I make a brief appearance in at a pool table. And of course,
a good shot too. There was a good shot involved there too. It was that
thank
some fancy
you.
editing.
but most importantly,
Yeah, and you were all repping that Stephen Marbury shirt. Sorry, I just messed that up for you.
Always representing the Phoenix teams with the Marbury shirt. If you're all on Spotify right now listening to our podcast, once the show wraps up, you can actually go ahead and just type the Glides right into Spotify. All of their albums are on Spotify, iTunes, any place that you listen to music at. Also, if you type in Travis Kenny, you can hear his solo albums on Spotify as well.
Thank you.
Travis, you mentioned that you didn't want to talk too much about modern day football, but I do have one question for you. If you had an English Premier League side or even a lower league side, who might that be?
Man, I'm just a Sounders guy through and through. I was raised, I mean, seriously, what was handed to me is professional soccer, and I know you just probably would roll your eyes and it'd make you sick to have to watch these games, but was the Sounders. And so that's always kept my interest. I love that there's a second Sounders team now. I follow their news. It's really you guys and the Sounders because I'm either in the recording studio or traveling, and I don't spend my time. And again, I'm learning. I love your guys' podcast. I'm learning about something I already have this. When Phil first talked to me, he couldn't believe that I love soccer, and I was telling him about memories. And I mean, I played growing up. It was not a stigma at my house to be a soccer player. It was definitely encouraged. And I mean, now that I think about it, my mother's side, my mom is first generation American, so my grandma was a war bride kind of thing. So So I guess maybe that's where that came from. But yeah, it was never, like I said, I told you, my dad took me down. We had season tickets. Seattle got a pro team, and my dad went down and bought season tickets.
Fantastic.
So me and my brothers, I have a brother a year older and a brother a year and a half younger, and the three of us, we definitely kicked the ball.
What I'm hearing is you don't have an English football team. Can I suggest one for you?
You're signing me up. Yes, definitely. I will start watching. And so next time we do this, or when we actually get to hang out in person, I'd love to be able to talk to you about it. So yes, please. I would love to hear about a team I should be watching.
All right. I'm sure everyone knows which one I'm talking about.
And you're going to have to join us at a Phoenix Rising game next year when the season comes up again.
Hey man, let's make a plan of making it the opener.
Let's do that, and we're gonna invite anybody that listens to the show to join us out at the supporters section, Red Fury area at the Phoenix Rising. We'll have a good time out there and talk some football. We'll have a rock star with us.
And
that's pretty kind of you to say.
Just for those that are interested, the opening match.
It's against New Mexico United on March 16th, which is a Saturday. I think that we're getting pretty close to the moment that everybody's been waiting for. What do you think?
Especially me, Phil.
And that is a new game that we've come up with for Travis, and it is called Band or Soccer Team. And what we're going to do is we're going to name off a band or a soccer team, and we've got some pretty obscure names here. Travis is going to tell us whether or not he thinks it's a band or a soccer team. Do you want to go with the first one, Aaron?
Yep. All right, so Travis, just so you're clear on the rules, I'm going to mention a name now, and you have to tell me whether it's a band or a soccer team. Got it? Good to go?
Fair enough.
All right, so we're going to start with one of my favorite names. in either the world of football or music. It is Seaman Padang. Seaman Padang.
One more time. Seaman Patang.
Yes.
I really can see a person deciding to name themselves Seaman. That seems completely, in this day and age of neck tattoos, why wouldn't you want to be able to put Seaman on your neck? I'm going to go artist or musician or band.
That one is actually a soccer team.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're from Thailand or something like that, aren't they? From
The next one that we have for you is the Kentucky Headhunters.
Band.
That is a country music band.
Hey, great for me. Bat 500 over here.
All right, got another one for you here. The Bowery Boys. Bowery Boys.
And so, Phil, help me out. Was that the Bowery Boys or was that the Berry Boys?
The Bowery Boys.
Bowery Boys. I'm gonna say band.
And it is. You got it. Even the bad accent and all.
Oh, right on. I got the hang of this now. Now I got a groove going.
The next one that we have is River Plate.
I'm gonna go soccer club.
Yes, that is an Argentinian soccer team. You are on a roll.
All right.
About guessing. Get me to Vegas quick, fellas.
All right. Here, this is one of my favorite ones here. Well, who is the Botswana Meat Corporation? The Botswana Meat
Botswana
Corporation.
Meat Corporation. I'm going to say that is a soccer club.
It is a soccer club. Well, wonderful name for a band.
All right, up next we have the Young Boys.
The Young Boys.
The Young Boys.
The Young Boys. You know, as much as I want to say band, like I think it's some kind of boy band thing where everyone's got, skinny jeans, I'm going to go actually with maybe some kind of Boston soccer club or East Coast soccer club.
It is a soccer club, but they're actually a Swedish soccer team, and they play in the Premier Division of the Swedish League. They were actually in the Champions League this year as well. Got eliminated in the group stage. However, the story behind why they're called Young Boys, back in the 1800s when the club formed, there was a club called Old Boys, and the younger folks in the community formed a team called the Young Boys to play against the Old Boys, and that's the story of how the team ended up with such an unusual name.
I have to correct you there, Phil. It's actually they're from Bern in Switzerland.
I said Sweden, didn't I?
Easy to mistake. I mean, they're basically the same anyway. So we're not going to get any listeners from those two countries. Cool.
Go Shaqiri.
It's the brick that eyes. We love him.
My crystal on my forehead.
All right, I think the next one was for you there, Aaron, right?
All right. I'm going to make this.
I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Band.
That's a band. You got it, mate.
You must have been studying before you came on. Well, Travis, we've really enjoyed having you on the show, and I think that we were going to close out with one song from your upcoming album. And why don't you tell us a little bit about that song before we play it here?
Sure. I would also like to talk about the album. So I've put out this Stripped Down Naked, as I referred to earlier. Paulie had made this St. Paul of Phoenix. It's really, really good.
It's a funky jam.
Yeah, so I've gone completely the other direction. It's just a very, basically the way I like to say it is the album has a lot of charm. And if you give it time, it really gets on you. But I'm also asking a lot of the listeners. What I've chosen to do is to give that album away. What's that?
I said we're asking a lot of our listeners as well.
Well, then I'm marketing right to the right people. Fantastic. So I'm just pretty much going to keep directing everybody. I am putting out rock singles to keep all my independent radio stations. And thank you, Independent Radio, for loving Travis Kenny and giving me so much fertile ground to spread my music. But Lopsided World Vel, Danny Cutler, Jay, and Dubs are just good people. But and so I've created a 9-song album that's just a stripped down version, just me, my guitar, and some singing, and it is going to be given away for free for a year. It's you can only going to find it at traviskenny.com, and I'm just going to keep putting out singles month after month. The 18th of January is when it's going to be released, and download it, love it, share it, get other people to swing by and download it, love it, share it, and it's really a charming record. Yeah, this is my song, It'll Be All Right.
And tell us where we can get that again from, Travis.
traviskenny.com.
And that was Travis Kenny of the Glides. Once again, thank you for joining us on Across the Pitch, Travis. We look forward to talking with you again in the future. And of course, we appreciate you letting us use your music as our weekly intro and outro.
It's good to have him on board. And I'll tell you what a great chat he was, hey? Just an all-round decent bloke. I was really happy to have him on the show.
He had some really nice things to say about the show, and we can't thank you enough for listening and for coming on the show. Now, for those of you that did tune in tonight to hear us talk some football, what have you got for us tonight, Aaron?
Well, we're talking about an elephant up a tree, which is a somewhat unkind reference to Liverpool. And the joke goes, why is Liverpool like an elephant up a tree? Well, no one knows how it got up there, and they know it won't be there for long. Which is a little bit unkind, I have to say, because I tell you what, spate of recent results in the Premier League, namely Manchester City, who we thought were going to be world beaters and probably still are. They're just having one of those weird blips, I guess you could say, in their campaign. They will come back strong, but all of a sudden, Liverpool, after the Boxing Day matches, which is the day after Christmas for our American listeners, after the Boxing Day matches, they are 6 points ahead.
That means that's the day that you throw away all your boxes after
No.
Christmas.
Oh, now you're going to cause a fight, Phil. No. No one knows. Genuinely, no one knows where Boxing Day comes from. It probably comes back to the days of serfs and kings and whatnot in England. And they were like, oh, you can have a day off and, oh, here are our boxes.
I thought it was a holiday that Don King invented.
Well, I think it even predates Don King, even though he's an old bastard. How old is he? But anyway, speaking of teams, how did our team of the month go today?
Well, it was.
Did we get a win? Did we finally get a win for one of our teams?
Today it was in their Boxing Day matchup. They did get a 3-1 win over Derby County.
Yes, I think that's our first.
And I guess we should announce now also our upcoming team of the month. We had a poll in the League One Facebook group. An incredible response. We had something like 400 votes in this poll, and with nearly 200 votes all by themselves, the winner of the contest is Luton Town, who will be our team of the month for January. And the response was so great to this poll that we're also making our second place finisher, Portsmouth, who had around 100 votes or maybe even over 100 votes, will be our team of the month for February. So congratulations to Luton Town and Portsmouth and their fans for voting them winners of our Team of the Month contest. We will have lots of content coming up on those two teams. We'll be looking forward to talking about Luton, who's currently second in League One, all throughout the month of January.
Looking forward to hearing from Luton and from Pompey, as they call Portsmouth. Personally, I'm quite excited that our team of the month next month is going to be Luton, because I only know Luton from either flying in or flying out of there, and I'm pretty sure that's what really pisses them off. You know, Luton Town fans are like, we're more than a bloody airport, you lot. We actually have a good club on our hands, and they seem to be doing very, very well for themselves. And I think they're a promoted team this year as well, like our action.
They certainly right now are in promotion range and could be looking at the EFL Championship next year the way they're playing. I also believe that looking over the statistics, that they may have the best goal differential or one of the top 2 or 3 best goal differentials of any team in all of Europe right now.
It's quite incredible, actually. Their goal difference is, well, double. So they've scored twice as many goals as they have conceded, which is remarkable.
Which goes along with our raining goals theme from tonight's show.
I thought we were talking about music. Do we know any music people from Luton? Hit us up if you do. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/acrossthepitch. You'll also find us on Twitter @acrossthepitch, and you can always hit us up on our website, acrossthepitch.com.
Well, we've had a lot to talk about tonight. Now, I know that we didn't cover quite as much soccer or association football as we normally would, but I think that our time was well spent talking with Travis, our fantastic guest. And thank you again, Travis, for coming on the show tonight. Did you have anything else tonight that you hadn't gotten to before we wrap up, Aaron?
You know, mate, just one thing. Go Phoenix Rising. Go.
Just around the corner, their first home game will be March 16th against New Mexico United. And like we mentioned earlier, Aaron and I, as well as Travis, Matt, will most likely be out there. He's a season ticket holder, so we'll have the whole across the pitch team out there. Hopefully, it will be a dollar beer night, and you can all join us for
Yes.
one.
Yes. Some live behind the scenes shots there, I think, will be in order. It's going to be messy. It's going to be messy.
And not Lionel.
Lionel Messi, no. I should probably leave you on a joke. Did you play any instruments at all, Aaron? And I'll be like, yes, I played on the linoleum as a kid.
I only know how to play the vuvuzela.
Oh, I can teach you that. You know what? I'm going to post this to our Facebook page just so you can see me playing a vuvuzela being an obnoxious twat. Supporting my beloved Demon Knights in Armidale. Shout out to you guys. You're awesome. You came runners up this year, but well done, lads.
And as always, we thank you for joining us on Across the Pitch, and we will be back with you again next week. Thank you, as always, to my brother from down under, Aaron Ayers.
Always a pleasure to be here, mate.
And y'all have a great night.